everybody out there, this is Popular Stranger. We are back at you again today with another MLB 16, the show, Diamond Dynasty episode of Risers and Fallers. We're doing our weekly roster upgrade prediction video. We're going to try to start doing these on Wednesday, so we'll start it off this week to give you guys a couple extra hours, an extra day to go work that marketplace and take advantage of the suggestions that I'm making in these videos. As always, leave your input down in the comment section. We're going to go to LA for the Dodgers and talk about Justin Turner. Year to date, not the greatest average, 275 batting average, 18 home runs, 59 runs batted in. But since the All-Star break, he's been on fire with a 400 average, 5 home runs, and 15 runs batted in. He's producing for the Dodgers. They definitely need that. With the injuries in their pitching rotation, they need to score a lot of runs. And Justin Turner's been helping them against right-handed pitching. Now keep in mind, he's a right-handed batter. He's got 15 out of his 18 home runs and 54 of his 59 runs batted in, a 305 average. So that's a really good thing for the show, because a lot of people late in the games like to go pitching matchups, bring out a lefty against a left-handed batter. This guy can hit right-handed pitching, so if you can put him in, they put in a right-handed guy out of the bullpen, he's going to strive, he's going to do really well against them. We're going to talk about Jay Bruce next. Last week we talked about Joey Votto. I don't want you to forget about him. He still has a 500 average, 4 home runs, and 10 runs batted in since the All-Star break. But Jay Bruce is doing pretty well as well since the All-Star break. He might be getting traded, so that'll be interesting to see how his value could go depending on what team he might get traded to. Year-to-date, 271 average, 24 home runs, 78 runs batted in. Since the All-Star break, he has a 300 average, 6 home runs, and 15 runs batted in. So he is pounding the baseball right now. He's been very solid all season, and I think that's why he's going to be traded to a contender. A lot of people have their eyes on them. Maybe the San Francisco Giants could be a team, though I think they should probably go after some bullpen guys before they try to add bats to the lineup. Jed Gyorko, another guy who is hot as fire since the All-Star break. He leads the majors with 7 home runs since the break. Year-to-date, 258 average, 14 home runs, 32 runs batted in. Over his last 7 games, he's been ridiculous. 5 home runs and 8 runs batted in. Over his last 15 games, he's had 14 RBI, so that's very, very impressive. Yesterday, against the Mets, the Cardinals had themselves a doubleheader. And Jed Gyorko, what did he do, guys? He hit a home run in each game of the doubleheader. This is a guy who had a lot of potential, played very well a year in San Diego, got a big contract, and then got hurt. And I thought it was a really good pickup for the Cardinals. He got off to a slow start, but it's good to see him, starting to get things rolling. He got his opportunity. He's definitely making the most of it. We'll talk about a couple pitchers. This guy might be a week behind, but you guys know the updates are a week behind. So we could see him get an upgrade. He's an 80 overall, and that's Chris Tillman. Right now he's tied with Chris Sale for the most wins in baseball with 14. He has a 14-3 record now. His year-to-date stats are 14-3, as I just mentioned. 3.47 ERA. He had a rough outing last night against my Rockies, which I was happy we were able to get to him. So that I don't think will have an impact if they do decide to upgrade him this week, because I mentioned several times the upgrades are a week behind. We're going to continue to talk about pitchers and focus on the Rockies now. Boone Logan, I'm mad that I haven't really brought this guy to your attention earlier this season. He's been fantastic, and he was one of the pitchers that I hated the most last year as a Rockies fan. But this season, 2.51 ERA, 33 strikeouts. His batting average against is ridiculous. Against left-handed batters, they're only hitting 149 against him. Right-handed batters, only 161. He was a lefty specialist, but he's been doing it for both sides of the plate. He stranded a ridiculous amount of base runners. He gets in the game against traffic and just does not have any problems with it. And then we're going to talk about Trevor Story, the last player we'll feature this week. National League Player of the Week. He also was ridiculous over the last 7 days. 272 average, 27 home runs, which has broken a rookie record for most home runs by a shortstop that is a rookie. 71 runs batted in. Since the All-Star break, he's hitting 368, 6 home runs, 14 runs batted in. Over his last 15, he has 6 home runs and 16 runs batted in. You know, Corey Seager's an 89 overall. I know they have a big difference in batting average. Trevor doesn't get on base as much as Seager does, but when you look at those two, they play the same position. I think one thing that should get upgraded, though he doesn't steal a ton, his speed. Trevor Story, he's a lot faster than I think they have him down as a 58 speed. But he should certainly get upgraded. I think Trevor Story should have a gold card. If Corey Seager's an 89, then Story should be up there as well. A couple other guys we just quickly want to mention as we wrap up this video. Albert Pujols was a guy that I featured in last week's video. He has not slowed down. He's continued to drive runs home for the Angels. They continue to play pretty good baseball. And then Matt Kemp's another guy. I'm surprised he hasn't really been parts of trade talks. He's been producing very, very well. I think that would be a good opportunity for the Padres to, you know, get rid of a guy who's probably going to be declining soon, but that's hot right now, and maybe pick up some minor league players that could help them out in the future. But Matt Kemp's been pretty hot since the All-Star break as well. Always, guys, if you want to suggest some players in the comment section that I probably missed, go ahead and do that now. We'll be back with tomorrow's edition of This Week in Baseball. If you have any topics for that, leave them in the comments as well. I'm Popular Stranger, and I'm out. Peace!